So it's time to talk about long poles. Stem poles. That's right. I got my hands on some of the Tecsee Carrot linear switches. I'm gonna talk a little bit about them. I'm gonna do some sound test. I'm gonna give you my overall thoughts and opinions after I ate this carrot. So the Carrot is a linear switch, meaning it's smooth, roughly up and down the keystroke, whole way. 55G actuation force, medium-ish, right in line with some yellows and stuff like that. These are compared to alpacas and creams, but more budget friendly. These were $4.30 for a pack of 10, 43 cents each. It's not bad. I will say, it feels good so far. The coloring is off on the bottom and tops of the housing. You can't really see it, but I'm noticing a lot of them are kind of colored a little funky, just nitpicky stuff. This is PME material on the housing. It's Teksee's proprietary plastic stuff, and the stems are made of palm, as in palm jellies. Now, the springs are 68G, I believe, a little bit smaller and shorter than normal linear switches, I think. I could be wrong about that. I've seen a lot of them. But the poles on the stems are slightly longer. I know you can't really see it from this camera angle right here, but you can go look up the exact specs on the internet somewhere. Just know that it's supposed to lead to a more consistent bottom out. We'll see if I can actually feel the difference in a second. Last note, most places you can buy these actually say they come pre-lubed. Lightly lubed, I believe is what it said. Yeah, I don't know about that. I can't see any sheen. I can't actually feel it. We'll see as I open more of these switches. But for now, I'm just going to do a stock sound test, and maybe I'll actually take them off and lube them. And we'll see if they need films too. I just got through lubing the Carrot switches, and I will say that maybe 80% of them did have some factory lube on there, but it was very inconsistent. Some of them were like, there was almost nothing there, and others were like, oh, it's pretty well lubed. So we'll do the sound test first, but then come back afterward. I have some thoughts. I have some cons, which I think anybody buying this switch needs to be made aware of. So here are Pete's thoughts on the Tecsee Carrots. It is a budget switch. They're roughly like $4.50 per 10, 40-something cents each. You can get the alpacas, pre-lubed, factory lube, just like kind of these come, kinda, for about $1 more per 10, about 10 cents more a switch-ish, give or take, right? So if you do like 60, 70, 80 switches, it's only actually a couple of bucks more. And I wanna share my first con. I have a pro and a con, but con first. Bad news first. So this PME housing, whatever proprietary material Tecsee has here, I don't think it's very good. These were extremely difficult to use a switch opener to pop them off. And then I actually saw that the little clasps on each side of the switch, they would like bend and change color and get disfigured and move way too easy. In fact, when I reinstalled some of the switches onto the keyboard, some of them like got stuck and got pried out. And it's okay, I took them back out and I bent it back and put them in. It worked just fine, but it just seems kind of cheap, right? It's like that cheap plastic where it's one color and then you bend it and it kind of turns white, right? It kind of lightens in color because it's getting stretched out. That's what these switches are made out of. And look, the alpacas, for only a couple of bucks more, has the same palm stems, and the housings are made with like, acrylic and polycarbonate plastics and stuff like that, which generally speaking, a little bit less scratchy, probably a little bit more reliable. But I want to conclude with what I really love about these switches, and that is, well, first of all, I love the price point. They are budget. Second of all, I don't actually think you need to lube these guys if you get them, or film them, by the way. The wobble was very good. It seemed nice and tight, and I couldn't tell a massive difference in touch, feel, or sound lubed versus stock. I really like these right out of the box. If you just want to spend 40 or 50 bucks, get you a full set of linears that are really nice, really, if you just put them in and go, these are your switch, the Tecsee Carrots. If you're going to be taking them apart and lubing or filming or any other modding for that matter, it might be a little difficult. They're a little finicky to put back together, and I actually feel like you could break these a lot easier than some other housing materials. All right, that said, I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll leave some other reviews here to the Gateron Milky Yellows and the Black Inks, which are probably two of my favorite linears at this point. Go check out those videos. I love you, YouTube tribe. Aren't you glad you watched this video all the way to the end?